Hello, guys. We are
Hi.
live on the Eurovox channel, and it's me, Samuele, and Dylan. We are gonna talk about Sanremo Night One that happened yesterday night, the first official serata of Sanremo 2024, and we're going to try to understand a little bit better who is now currently in the lead for winning this edition of Sanremo, and in general, which are the first impressions that we have in the Sanremo. We want to hear also your comments if the first night you liked the first night or not, which were your favorites, which were not. We want to hear everything. So, Dylan, your first impressions.
Well, my first impression is always the same when it comes to Sanremo. It is somehow excitement and also uh, tiredness. Excitement because Sanremo is always amazing selection. It is more than a selection, it has something about the Italian music soul, actually. It's part of Italian identity, which I love. And a bit of tiredness because Sanremo is like a marathon, so you have to start slowly and then you try to build up to survive the entire week. But first impression is very good because we have had all the participants singing and most of the songs were good this year, which is not a surprise. We've had the artists announced before, so yeah, excited.
Yeah, it's always exciting to watch Sanremo. Most of all because it's one of those. It is not a national selection; it's a proper festival,
Mhm.
but it is used as national selection for Italy for Eurovision, and it has that kind of surprise effect because we don't know the songs in advance. We just hear it for the first time with the orchestra. That can sound completely different from, for example, the studio cuts of the same songs. So many people really don't like the version with the orchestra the first listen, but then go on Spotify and listen to the track on Spotify, and they have completely different opinions. So I want to see who we have in the chat today. Giovanna Letizia, quando dobbiamo far vincere Annalisa, secondo Irama e terza Angelina. So Annalisa, Irama and Angelina is her first three. Javier, let's send Mahmoud to Eurovision until it doesn't win. Hello, Eurovision and WWE Vids. He is a fan of Tuta Gold, so Mahmoud.
Who isn't?
Who isn't? Exactly. I fell asleep after Diodato song. Actually, right, because it was quite late at that time, but still, the night yesterday night was pretty much fast. I think they ended even 20 minutes earlier.
That's
Uh,
good. Yeah.
and actually, the rhythm was quite fast because we had 30 singers. All of them had to sing with a lot of bops, a lot of up-tempo songs. So the rhythm, I think, was quite faster than last year's in comparison, and the quality, I think, is one of the best ones in the last 10 years. Alessandro say, I'm Italian, and it was really good, great quality, but standard song at the same time. Only a few really stand out. I want to know, Alessandro, which one you preferred from last night. Yeah, it's selection, but selection for the best Italian song this year. Sanremo si ama. Annalisa Angelina Mango. Yeah, we are gonna talk about Annalisa and Angelina because currently they are the first two in the odds,
Yeah.
and apparently they have the most Eurovision friendly performances as well. Ama siete italiani. I am Italian. Dylan is French, but is really, really, really a fan of Sanremo and Italian music. I would say no.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
exactly. I am very bad about La Stampa. Okay. So you're kind of mad because La Stampa put La Stampa is the jury of the press. The press jury put Loredana first. We're gonna talk about the top five. Let's read the last comments. Mahmood non vincerà mai, ma rimane sempre il più moderno internazionale. Mahmood is never gonna win again, but he remains one of the most modern and international ones. The last comment I will have here, Irama is the best song. So let's talk about this top five last last night. So last night we have a top five that was the results of the vote of the press jury. Sorry. No, false alarm. It was the result of the press jury, and we have this current top five. In fifth position, we have Mahmood, Tuta Gold. Fourth position, Diodato, Ti Muovi. Third position, Annalisa, Sinceramente. Second, Angelina Mango, La Noia. First, Loredana Bertè, Pazza. So this top five, Dylan, tell me what you think about this top five, and why do you think the press maybe evaluated Loredana like this as first position?
So I think it's interesting because the top five is a reflection of the Italian press, and it sometimes differs from what the public likes to hear and how the public votes. But what I would say also is that this year, as it has been said in the comment, it is a really strong year. We have some songs that are like each other. A lot of good songs and songs that are in this top five are actually similar to each other, I would say. So I think it's difficult for the press to make a proper ranking. That being said, they have to choose, and it's probably based on their preferences. I wouldn't have said that Loredana was first, in my opinion. Mahmoud was a bit better, but I get why, because Loredana had an interesting staging as well, and it's something that was maybe slightly standing out from the others, so might be one of the reasons. But I was surprised though not to see in the top five, to be honest, Irama, because I think the song and the performance, the interpretation on the stage were really good, and they offered something a bit different. But then maybe because it was more like a ballad, it wasn't in the eyes of the press just as good as the other.
Okay, so let's just talk about the clear favorite of the Sala Stampa. That was Loredana first, as you said, and then we're gonna switch a little bit to Mahmood because it was fifth in the provisional ranking, and lastly we are gonna go to the hot stuff, and we're gonna talk about the, let's say, the great revelation of the night, that were Angelina and Annalisa. So regarding Loredana, she was rumored to be the winner for the Sala Stampa for a long time, since January. When the press firstly listened to the songs, they always went really crazy for Loredana's song, and I can see why. Also because Loredana is an icon in Italy. She has a really long career. Everybody loves them, and this attempt in Sanremo is maybe one of the last ones or even the last one that she's gonna compete in. So I'm sure that maybe the prize of the Sala Stampa at the end, that is the prize Mia Martini, will be given to her because it is the prize that usually it is assigned by the Sala Stampa. Mahmood was a great novelty for me, because I was not expecting something like this from Mahmood at all. I think I like this song even more than Soldi, if I have to be honest. It is urban, it is modern, it has that, I don't know what, it has something inside, it's completely out of the world, and it reminds a little bit of other songs by Mahmood. For example, the most urban one of the last years, so for example, Barrio, Talata, Dorado, something like that. But I just think that this is still something new, and Mahmood is still again one represents, I think, yet again, one of the most surprising artists in Italy, and can do whatever he wants. I will always love him.
Yeah, exactly. To me, Mahmoud is one of my favorite Italian singer ever. Every time he drops a new song, it's just, in my opinion, amazing, and I love to listen to his songs. I would also say that Mahmoud is maybe somehow the leader of the new Italian wave
Mm.
in many ways. I think his performances in Sanremo and then in Eurovision helped to expand Italian musical industry and open it to a new generation of listener worldwide. We had Italian music was amazingly famous in the world in the 80s, for instance,
Mm.
and before that, and then it went slightly under the radar, I would say. And Mahmoud is part of this generation of new artists that have brought the Italian music back on the world stage. And for that, I think every Italian should be grateful first, and then Sanremo more specifically. And I would always love to see him there. Now, I'm not sure that he would win.
I don't think
Um,
so. I don't think
it's
so.
it's a strong year, so it might be difficult for
I
him. But
still think that he might come top five.
oh yeah, I mean, it would be robbed if he wouldn't come top five. He has a great song. It's a bop. It's something different from the other one. It's modern, and it's also the structure of the song is very good. So it would be deserved that he would be top five, or even maybe higher, like top three.
Well, we have to see tonight the televote because I think that the radio jury is quite predictable, in my opinion, but the televote will for sure award the names and not the songs. Unfortunately, it is what it is. It is what happens in Sanremo with the televote. The televote doesn't award the song, but it awards the names. So let's go into the comments before talking about the hot stuff. Mahmood, Diodato, Mr.Rain, I love their songs. Yeah, also Mr.Rain was quite a surprise, and Diodato was Diodato, I have to say. I always liked Irama's songs, but this year is bad. He was just squeezing himself, trying to make the song more emotional, but ended being cringe. It's actually something that I can see and I can relate from Italy's Twitter, Italian Eurovision bubble in Twitter. They say that Irama's song is good in the studio version, but the live was quite cringe. Most of all because his voice in 2019, for example, when he firstly competed with in the big section, and in 2021 were quite natural. Now he's trying to impose his voice, like he's trying to modifying his voice also nasally a little bit, and he also in Italy we say he eats the words. So he doesn't finishes the words properly. Uses different kind of pronunciation and enunciations of the word. So it was somebody say that Geolier was more understandable, even if he was singing in Neapolitan than Irama and San Giovanni, for example. But
Maybe.
yeah, Irama has a really beautiful ballad. I don't want to see him even near top five this year.
Huh.
But it's just my personal taste because I want to see something new from Sanremo this year. I would like to see all women, but
Oh, yeah.
still, Mahmoud, if it's there, I don't have to complain. So let's go and read other comments. Mr. Rain again, a very beautiful song, and journalists well. Loredana is very iconic. Love her. I think I love her songs from 2019 more though. Yes, me too, actually.
It's always
Italian.
very difficult. I mean,
What?
sorry, this is always very difficult. I agree with what you said, Neil, on Loredana's song. 2019 might be better. But we've seen this pattern happening with a lot of artists returning in either the Eurovision or the national selections or song festivals like Sanremo. It's always, you have this temptation to always compare it with the previous songs they sent,
Yes.
like we did with Soldi, for instance.
Mm.
So I think it is very difficult for them to put something different on stage that people will like as much as before. Also because you're used to Loredana previous songs. We've been streaming it a lot. We got used to it in the end. And these songs we've heard them for the first time yesterday. So maybe we just also need a bit of time to get used.
Exactly. Yes. Absolutely. Of course, it's the Sanremo effect when you hear songs performed with the orchestra on the first listen. It might be completely different from, as I was saying before, listening to them on the studio version later on during the week. And in the end of the week, on the Saturday, on the day of the grand final, you end up memorize them completely. So it's quite obsessive, I would say. So let's go to the so-called hot stuff. In your opinion, which Italian song could work better at Eurovision? And I like this as an Italian, Annalisa or Angelina. Dylan, tell me your opinion about this.
Well, as I'm not Italian, I will skip the second question, so I don't have any trouble with the people online. But the first question is interesting because, in my opinion, regardless of what Italy is going to send from the top five, for instance, of the first night of Sanremo, I think Italy will do great in Eurovision anyway. And for two reasons, again, in my opinion. First is the processes, the selection process. Sanremo is, as we said, not designed to represent Italy at Eurovision. It is just some extra salt we have added there. But originally, Sanremo is a strong festival with a strong culture, with a very strong identity, you know. And I think it is what makes its strength. In the end, it is such a competitive and such a high quality show with amazing performers and songs that somehow it is opening the way for Italy representative to be in the top 10 or in the top 5 of Eurovision,
Yes.
whatever they send. So for me, this is difficult because whatever they would send, you know, it's going to work. And it would work also because it's part of Italy identity. We've said that with them on the live regarding Ukraine's selection, Vidbir. It is something that they have in common, both selections. It's that they really put something out there, something that is part of the national identity, some part of the national soul. And in the end, you can feel it. Because when an artist is on stage, what you want to see is the feelings he's giving you, you know, and what you feel when you listen to the song, when you see him or her on stage, and how you feel inside in your guts. And I think with the preparation of Sanremo, all the Italian artists are able to provide that to the wider Eurovision audience. So it's gonna work regardless of what you choose. But if I have to choose something, if it has to be a woman because it has been a while since a woman was sent there, I would say that for now I have slight preference for Angelina Mango.
Ah, great.
Yeah.
Great. Yes, I have to say that I have a slight preference for Annalisa, but I would be absolutely happy with Angelina representing Italy in Eurovision. It would be great on stage. The song is definitely ready for Eurovision, produced by Dardust, written by Madame, completely ready for Eurovision.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but on the other side, it's Annalisa's year. For me, it's her year. She had a marvelous 2023. Sinceramente, mostly the second portion of the song is, I think, Eurovision perfection. If staged well, Sinceramente on Eurovision could be top 3. And I'm telling you, for me, because we know what Annalisa can do live with dancers, with lights, with a good LED wall, and in Malmo, I envision that. I envision that song on Malmo. Of course, the songs are usually longer than 3 minutes. It will be to be cutted, but I think that as we did with Due Vite last year, I think we will not have any problems with both Angelina and Annalisa's song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this year is time for Annalisa, and Angelina is really young, so she can also try next year if she wants.
She could. And Annalisa would be a well-deserved winner. She has everything to win Sanremo and to perform very well in Eurovision. That is true. I'm just slightly more in favor of.
But it's
because,
okay.
It's because, you know, the song is slightly more modern and reflecting to what we said about Mahmoud. I think I can relate a bit more to this kind of music.
Yeah.
But Annalisa is the clear winner of Sanremo. I mean, I would be shocked if she wouldn't win, to be
I
honest,
think that we have to see tonight because,
after
as
the
for
televote.
what we know now, because I'm pretty much informed on what is happening now in
Mhm.
the streaming platforms and on radio, because I'm focusing on radio, on the availability of the songs in the radios
Yeah.
and on streaming platform. Because for me, the televote is represented most of all, almost 100% by YouTube visuals and Spotify streams. For now, because we don't have the general, like we cannot be in the mind of the old 80 years old women from I don't know, Puglia. So we cannot know, but in general I'm basing myself on that. And for what we know, Annalisa came second, third,
Mhm.
sorry, I started out with the Sala Stampa, and the radios are gonna put her first. I am
Mhm.
absolutely, almost absolutely sure that she's gonna come with the first spot in the radio jury. Most of all because all of her three singles plus Euphoria, that is her last single that was first released with her album. Uh,
Mhm.
I think I almost think that she's gonna be first because all the previous singles were first, and this is as good as Mon Amour, I think. The visuals on YouTube, Angelina is 1 million, Annalisa is 900,000. So they're really close together. They are the only two close together, and then there is the other one. They are Annalisa is second in YouTube tendencies. Angelina is first, but then Angelina is like fifth or sixth with her music video, and Annalisa is fourth. From what we heard, Amazon Music, Annalisa is first, and Angelina is third or even lower. In Spotify, because of course we don't have official Spotify data, but some press that has apparently the access to the Spotify data say that Annalisa is first, followed by Giolier, and third Angelina.
Mhm.
So I think it will come between Annalisa and Angelina in the end. But we have to see how the voting patterns are this night. Because if Annalisa is not between the first three this night, is done for her. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like this. I strongly think that both the public and the radio jury will back Annalisa this night. But the favorite of the televotes already we know. We know who it will be. Will be Giolier, will be Irama, will be the Colors, because they have a really big fandom. Also, I would not say that Alessandra Amoroso is out of the count,
Mhm.
because she has a big fandom as well. But let's see what our chat say, and then I'm going to come back to you for a little bit of opinions on the songs in general, or of the one that you like the most apart from this top five. So Giolier will still win the televote probably tonight, though. Could be close. Yeah, strongly believe that Giolier could be first in the televote and maybe Annalisa second tonight,
Mhm.
or third. But yeah, radio stations are pushing so hard for Annalisa. Yes, currently it has been revealed that Annalisa is first in the airplay la classifica
Mhm.
airplay. Right? It's like it's like a ranking of the rate of the radios, the major
Mhm.
radio in Italy. No Mahmood nor Diodato, please sleepy songs. Well, I don't think Mahmood has a sleepy song.
No,
If
me
needing
neither.
to compete, Gali and San Giovanni are better. Well, San Giovanni is a really sleepy song, and Mahmood is a great song, I would say. I don't know, Dylan, what you think.
I
Uh,
agree with you.
uh, then Televote will be a bloodbath tonight. Also, Loredana and Il Volo. I think that Loredana will be quite low in the Televote, maybe around sixth or fifth position.
Mm.
How do you I'm gonna go back to this question after hearing a little bit what Dylan think about in general the quality of this year, first of all, and which are your favorites.
Well, the quality of the year is nothing we can contest here. It's good quality as always. Sanremo is a perfect work. Everything is organized in a perfect way, and this is. I wish the Eurovision in Turin has been organized the same way Sanremo is organized. It would have
Yes.
been perfect then. Because there is a tradition and the producers are used to it, so I love it. When it comes to the song quality, I think it is a year that is we have a few good ones that are in the top, or some of the songs we've discussed, and then there are other songs, but most of the songs, I would say, that are a bit less interesting in my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion. It doesn't reflect the work of the artist or anything else. It's just my personal opinion. But so I think the quality of the organization is amazing as always. When it comes to the song, it might be slightly under what we've seen in the past year, for instance. Almost as this year was somehow a gap year, a transition between one great edition last year and another great edition next year. And I think we have some very good artists and songs performing, and then the rest of them are just a bit more boring, in my opinion. And
Great.
when it comes to my favorite, I said Mahmoud is one of my favorites. Annalisa and Angelina, of course, but then also I love Irama and Il Volo. I was quite surprised because I usually I'm not a great fan of their performances, and they rarely reach my playlists. When Mahmoud is always on top of it.
Yeah, I cannot relate to that because I hated that performance with all of my heart. I cannot stand Il Volo anymore. I'm so sorry.
I agree with you in general, but then yesterday I thought I was happily surprised, by their performance in the song, and it's something worth mentioning. I think I was like, not bad actually. So yeah, but yeah, Mahmoud is definitely my favorite this year.
Okay, great. My favorites would be I did a top five. My favorite would be from fifth to first,
Okay.
more or less. It would be Clara,
Oh,
BigMama,
okay.
Mahmoud, Angelina, and Annalisa.
Okay.
For now.
Mm.
For now.
I mean,
Uh,
I don't
but
get the hype with Big Mama. Like I
I
know she.
love that song. It reminds me of the some productions that Dardust did with other artists. It's
Okay.
fresh, current, and it has a deep meaning. She has been, of course, victim of fat phobia in the past.
Yeah.
So in the song, she also say "La rabbia non ti basta." The anger doesn't fill you up. So she speaks about anger. She speaks about this kind of feelings inside of us that is really personal to her, and she got quite applause from the Ariston. She's the one of the youngest ones and also less known, but I was gently surprised. And
Okay.
of course, many people compared her to the female Cenere, the female
Mhm.
version of Cenere from last year, Lazza last year. I don't see it properly, but I can see why people see it. But yeah, this was my top five. This was Dylan top. Let's go to the comments a little bit. How do you think Sinceramente will be cut to 3 minutes if it goes to Eurovision? Well, I have to tell you that we have a perfect comment for this. They will cut the verses and the first chorus. The final part of Sinceramente is perfect. It will be better with 3 minutes, like Due Vite. I completely agree, actually. It is the same way I would cut it. So cut the first verse, short the first chorus, and then go to the bridge, the final bridge that is amazing. It will be amazing on stage. Yeah, always let's hope because I always say Annalisa gonna win as Annalisa gonna win. I cannot say it because it brings bad luck.
Yeah, you're gonna jinx it.
What?
You're gonna jinx it.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it exactly. uh I was positive surprised by Fred De Palma and Santi Francesi. Yeah, they were quite late, so I had to catch them up this morning, but they were not bad. So let's we are around 30 minutes, so let's draw to a conclusion. Tonight, night two, we have the other 15 artists. The first other 15 artists that will, of course, come back from yesterday night. The novelty from this year is that every single artist that is going to compete tonight will be presented by another artist that doesn't compete tonight, that will compete tomorrow night. So I have, if you give me just 1 minute, I have a list, eccolo qua, of the running order, and I'm gonna tell you all about tonight.
I'm again.
If I find it again, because I had it here and now I don't find it anymore. One
We're
second.
live, guys, so excuses.
Everything is live. So, allora,
but
in the meantime, if you want to say something, if you want, you have to say if you
there is
want.
something that I have to say. I was quite surprised with the way the evening went and the one performance. Loredana, I was surprised to see her first also because the vocals, in my opinion, were quite not as good as some others.
Mhm.
And I think that it was maybe a bit overrated. Like I
Yeah.
can see why she's top five, but does she deserve to be top one? I'm not sure. So sure, to be honest. The first time I heard her, it was somehow difficult to listen to it for the first few seconds.
Yeah,
And another
I can see it.
yeah, and another one that had the same effect on me, and we haven't mentioned them yet, is actually Joliet.
Mm.
I I again no shade here, and I'm sorry if I'm gonna offend anyone, but I really don't get the hype about the song. Like I
The problem with Joliet is that it's in Neapolitan, so it's a dialect of Italian. Even
yeah.
somebody considers it a different language, and it's true. The fact is that Joliet has the back of the south of Italy, and is
Mhm.
gonna smash the televote because it represents the south of Italy.
Yeah,
The
okay.
song can be liked or not, but Joliet is actually one of the biggest names in the Italian rap panorama right now. So I can
Mhm.
see that behind him, of course. But it is, yeah, he will. I think he will not win because it's really low. I think it's low with the Sala Stampa. So counting that 33% of the vote, I think that, in my opinion, we already saw in this top five, we already saw the winner. So I think personally it will be between Annalisa and Angelina,
Mhm.
personally, because also the people is ready for a woman winning. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, let's go to the running order for tonight. Fred De Palma will open the show and it will be presented by Gali.
Mhm.
Renga Nek second, presented by Lassad. Alfa, presented by Mr.Rain. Dargen D'Amico, presented by Diodato. Il Volo, presented by Rose Villain. Gazelle, presented by Bunker 44. Emma, presented by I Santi Francesi. Mahmood, presented by Alessandra Amoroso. BigMama, presented by Il Tre. The Colors, presented by Angelina. Giolier, presented by Fiorella Mannoia. Loredana Bertè, presented by San Giovanni. Annalisa, presented by Manini. Irama, presented by Ricchi e Poveri. Clara closes the night and is presented by Negramar. So this will be the night that we are gonna see tonight on Rai 1. And of course, I think that is quite stronger than night 3 because we have the clear favorites all in this night. But yeah, we are gonna see tonight, just a reminder, tonight we are gonna see the top 5 of the combined vote between the radio jury and the televote. Then on tomorrow night will be the same with the other 15 contestants. On Friday, we're going to see the duets and covers, in which all televote, press jury, and radio jury will vote, and then the final the same. All the 30 acts again with the vote of all the three juries. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything clear? Of course, Sanremo might be a little bit tricky sometimes, but
You know,
it's quite
that's the beauty of
stabilized.
Sanremo.
Okay, so and today, yes, today will be Georgia as presenter. So good to see her back in Sanremo after last year. But yeah. So this was our reaction. This was our thoughts about Sanremo Night 1. Thank you, Dylan, for joining me, and thank you
My
for
pleasure.
joining also in watching a lot of performances in Italian. It's always a pleasure to have somebody that appreciates your country's music. But yeah, this was our reaction. This was our live. Of course, guys, we are gonna create a lot of content regarding Sanremo Music Festival all through the week. We are gonna follow the Sanremo Music Festival with lives the day after. So we're gonna talk about the, as we did today, the night before, the day after. Still, we don't have a particular kind of timetable for the lives, but we are gonna try to understand which one is better. I think that this hour is quite good. But yeah, and of course, for the final, we're gonna have a live right after the grand final. So hopefully no, at 3 in the morning. But yes. Also, so I can tell you a little bit of news. We're gonna have some reactions of the song of Sanremo by me. But yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes. For now, great start of the festival. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you all in the chat.
Thank you, Santi.
And we are going to see each other in the next live tomorrow.
Yes.
Ciao.
See you. Ciao.